Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to install your full auto kit into your T15. What you're going to need to get started is a 316 Allen key, a 564 Allen key, some bearing grease, some mineral based oil, not to mention a small working Allen key. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, so grab your 316 Allen key. First step is going to be loosening your grip. Now you don't have to take the grip entirely off, but you do need to loosen it enough to be able to pull it down a little bit like that. What that does is releases tension on that spring and allows you to push your selector switch out pretty easily. Next up, grab that working Allen key, conveniently sized so that it can fit to where the cross pin is, so you can push them out. So while holding the trigger assembly itself, push your two cross pins out, put them aside, don't lose them. Next up, trigger assembly should just slide out. Put that guy aside. Now, you can prep your full auto kit trigger assembly. You're going to need some bearing grease. Myself have decided to put some bearing grease into this small tipped syringe just for easy application. So instructions ask you for a small squirt of grease on the trigger pawl and on the sear. Now myself, because it's a metal on metal kind of wear, I like to give this area a quick squirt. And again, for the same reason, where the sear slides, I like to give that area a small squirt every once in a while. Now, before you actually go to slide this trigger assembly back into the lower, you're going to need your 564 Allen key. Now, this is a little trick I've learned that helps making the install go easier. Inside that hole is a rate of fire screw that controls how fast it's going to cycle in full auto. You want to take your Allen key, place it into that hole, go counterclockwise, one full rotation. Once that's done, you're ready to slide it in to your lower receiver. So while you're holding it, you're going to want to grab your cross pin. Don't forget, bearing stays on the right side, and you slide the cross pin from right to left. There's the bearing. You may need to pull down on the trigger assembly. Push down on the trigger assembly to help slide it across until it clicks in. All right, once that's done, your next step is to grab your selector switch. Now, just for quick reference, not only is the cut opening a different size and look, but there's also a little center pin that'll help you make telling them apart a lot easier. So your next step is going to be place it into the selector switch hole, flip your marker upside down, use that utility Allen key to push that little pin in while you're pushing from below, so it can pop in like that. Right? Next thing, push your grip down and tighten it up with the screw. Now before you carry on to your upper, take that small 564 Allen key, place it back into the rate of fire hole screw, and go clockwise, and keep turning until it gets snug. Once it gets snug, stop. The last thing you want to do is strip the screw that's inside. Before you continue, give it a quarter turn-ish back, looser, counterclockwise, and set that guy aside. Next up, push and twist the back cap, put down the spring, and pull out your semi-bolt. You can tell the difference between the semi-bolt and the full auto bolt just by the tip itself. Not only the shape, but the full auto bolt has an O-ring on the tip. All right. One thing you're going to want to do is swap out the bolt spring and the bolt bumper with what's provided in this full auto kit. Let's set that aside. Next, you're going to want to oil up your bolt, same way as I've shown before. One drop on each O-ring. Use your fingers to smear it around. Don't forget that guy. And and of course the one little drop in the channel. Slide it back and forth, and you're good to reinstall it into your lower. Upper. Don't forget, when you're pushing in the back cap, make sure it locks in properly and sitting properly in the little channel. Here comes the exciting part, putting it back together and seeing how it runs. So, cock it, set it to semi, install your air. One trigger pull, and that's a good start. Next up, go to your full auto setting. Let's see how fast this thing goes. That is crazy fast. So, I'm going to want to put it back to semi, degas. Now, to lower your rate of fire, decock, to lower your rate of fire, you are going to want to go into the rate of fire screw, go counterclockwise. Literally 1/16 to 1/8 of a turn each time. Might be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but slower and steady is better than fast and silly. Get it cocked. Gas up again. Semi. Good start. Full auto. Much slower. I myself would like it a little bit slower than that. So I'll degas one more time. Decock. Open. Again, rate of fire screw hole. Put the Allen key in. I'm going to give it another small increment, just like that. Reassemble it. All right, semi first. Good start. Much slower. Something a little bit more reasonable in my books. If you want to go slower again, you're going to have to follow the same procedure. Degas it, decock it, open it up, another small little smidge of a turn, gas it back up, and see what you get. I think where it's at right now, I'm pretty content. If you guys have any questions, concerns, by all means, shoot me a message, make a comment, and hopefully this helps you set up your T15 full auto kit. Cheers, guys.